Greetings, geeks. Welcome to episode 511 of Geeks in Space. I am Rob Commander Taco Malda, and I am joined today by... I'm getting feedback.
Me too.
That's weird.
Do you have a tab open on the live page or something?
I guarantee you I have something open somewhere. There, I think I got it.
Tab open on the live
Nope.
page or something?
Nope.
Oh, I want to do it now too.
Okay, feedback. Let's see how many feedbacks we can get into the.
I don't know. Future me's upset it past me for playing with this.
Let's see how many feedbacks we can get into the.
I don't know. Future me's upset it past me for playing with this. Screw you, Future me. What's wrong with you?
I don't really like Future You. Future You's kind of.
I'm fine. Screw you, Future me. What's wrong with you? How are you?
Like Future You. Future You's kind of.
I'm fine. Screw you, Future me. What's wrong with you? How
Echo.
I am the very model of a modern major general. I have information, vegetable, animal, and mineral. I feel like kings of being I quote the facts historical.
Are you gonna be all right now?
I think
This
you got
might
it.
be our most entertaining podcast.
Oh, we're on it. We're bringing our A game.
We're bringing everything.
The funny part is I don't actually know what window was making the sound. I just went and started closing everything I could find.
Rob and I should pretend like we're not moving anymore as a result.
That's really funny. You should definitely not do that.
Okay, I gotta stop doing that. Hi, everybody.
Hey, it's Chris DeBono and Rob Roseboom.
Hi.
Yep, it's me.
Did you see the six-legged walking truck? And did you read the article that actually explains like the computation behind it?
They didn't just cam it. They didn't just make it like geared and stuff.
Well, it was built in the 80s, and it had, and so like those giant boxes are actually a lot of the volume of that thing is actually computer.
That's dumb.
Yep.
We've known how spider walkers should work for decades before this.
Did we though?
That would be an insect walker. It only has 6 feet.
I'm sorry. You're absolutely right, Mr. Rosebud.
I like that story. It was they talked.
It took 9 years to build the damn thing.
Right, and the motors are like motorcycle engines.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, sure, it looks ridiculous, but I mean, if you had the chance to drive that thing around, I mean, you would, right?
Yeah.
Would I give up
in that
9
thing
years of my
everywhere.
life building the thing?
Probably not, but
I'm just picturing like they had like students come in every year and they would just rebuild it every year and just build DARPA, you know?
I mean, it works for me. There we go.
They even had Freddie Mercury work on it. That's great.
yeah.
I mean, who wants to live forever anyway?
There's no time for that.
Are we gonna just go like start quoting
Hey,
Highlander?
That thing, isn't it nice?
Days for us.
Just go for a nice walk in the park in that thing. Enjoy nature.
Nothing says love and nature like crushing it.
Like this monstrosity come hobbling through the brush. Look at
Hello, I am here now.
So
One of my legs is broken, so I can no longer move.
So this is made, I suppose, towards the end of the Cold War. So the proposed target of this is then a Russian soldier. So now imagine you're a Russian soldier, which means I guess you probably have like the cool furry hat and the big jacket, and you see like 20 of those come over the hill towards you.
Okay.
Like you're intimidated. I mean, you just like take 2 steps to the left and you're fine, but
Look, it can go kind of turny.
very slowly.
It's coming for
on
me.
a dime, gentlemen.
Yep.
On a dime. Look at that thing.
Smooth.
It's like riding on rails.
It's like
Yeah.
sorry, I just you know the sequence in Empire Strikes Back where Luke gets underneath the AT-AT and like chops it open. Like I just imagine them taking turns. Who wants to go underneath the very slow walking robot?
Ooh, my turn.
Cut it open.
You just like take a hammer, you go whack against one of the little pistons on the legs. That's it. It's over.
Done.
And it's just a
Or you
crunchy
just-
exterior with a nice creamy inside. You know?
You dump 3 yards of sand in front of it and watch it get bogged down. You just go away.
All right, so Rob, I know you for sure have dreamt of being your very own Charlie Bucket with the opportunity to win a candy factory.
I
For
thought this was
sure.
really interesting. I've actually been to one of their factories in Fairfield and did the tour.
I think
You know?
that I like to think of a little Rob, excitedly opening his candy bar, hoping for a golden ticket.
Mm-hmm.
No way. I would have Augustus Glooped the whole thing for sure.
I was gonna Veronica Mars it, but then I realized that's probably a different character. I'm probably thinking of Veruca Salt.
Maybe.
So yeah, this
So
guy.
you buy a $50 ticket. Wow. That's
Yeah, you buy a
fascinating.
ticket to get a gold ticket. And I read the article and I wasn't exactly clear on the giving away the factory. I think it's more about the tour of the factory. I'm confused by this article. But
I've
mostly
been on the tour. It's not worth $50.
no, for sure. I don't know. If you live near
Yeah, mostly it seemed like a scam to me because you have to, give us $50 and then you get a ticket and maybe you'll win, but maybe you won't. But just
it's
a good
in
way for us to get
California.
50 extra dollars. And like you, it seemed sort of murky about whether or not you got the factory, right? Or if
Yeah.
you're just some figurehead
I don't
that
think
they're like, you have an honor, you honorably, or you honorary own this factory,
is this like becoming the mayor of Ann Arbor for a day where they give you the key?
like
Excuse
that.
me. Sorry. This is dumb.
Yeah, it is
I
kind
think
of
this
dumb.
is a scam. And also, I have to tell you something. When you take the Fairfield tour, it's kind of a Ronald Reagan hagiography because he loved these things and he had them in
Of course.
his White House, right? So there's a ton of like Ronald Reagan this, Ronald Reagan that, and I'm like, I didn't come to Fairfield to see Ronald Reagan. I came to Fairfield to see some jelly beans.
I wanted to taste the weird ones that are really gross. Have you ever tried those?
Yeah, like popcorn. Yeah.
No, the fake ones that are like all gross flavors, like booger and earwax.
Yeah.
I
those came out after my stunt food phase.
See, I still have small boys. So there have been several like Christmases and birthdays where somebody gets a box of those, and that's still funny.
Yeah, I think it is funny. Yeah, we've done that, But yeah, man, I don't know.
Yeah.
This just seems.
Now, what you should do,
I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of Crunchy Frog. That's all I'm gonna say.
right?
Crunchy Frog.
Rob, have you ever done the in Chelsea the grain tour or whatever they have there?
The Jiffy Factory?
Yeah.
Hell yes.
Yeah.
You get a box of cornbread at the end.
You do.
Or
What?
you can choose blueberry muffin mix or whatever mix you want, but you're a fool if you choose anything other than cornbread.
That's incredible.
It's amazing. It's exactly what you would expect it to be, except that like I can't decide if they're more picky about security than they should be or if they're not picky enough. Because like you're not supposed to take pictures and I'm like, dude, these are milling machines. Like you're milling grains and stuff. This is not trade secret.
Okay, so since we're talking about Willy Wonka, I was made aware of this particular post, which I'm sure is ancient.
Sure.
Basically, it's about how Violet Beauregarde should have won the Wonka's Chocolate Factory, and it's actually a really funny post. She knows everything about candy. She knows about business. She doesn't want to enslave the Oompa Loompas, right? And instead of letting them test the thing, she tested the thing, and that was her flaw, right? So anyway, I just thought it was good.
Have you read the or seen any of the stuff about how Snowpiercer is actually a sequel to Willy Wonka?
No, that sounds wonderful.
I'll dig that one up. You guys will love it. They basically map all of the characters in Snowpiercer to characters from Willy Wonka and try to explain it as this is the future, and it's really funny. And there's enough stuff that lines up in a good way. Because I think Violet Beauregarde then was Tilda Swinton's character in the mapping that they put forth. It's a good one to watch. Let's see, BitTorrent version 2
Yeah, I saw that.
is coming out, which I guess is going to be different. I guess that the main thing was they determined that because there's going to be hash collisions, they know there's going to be hash collisions. They're going to switch the hashing algorithm, and if you're going to switch the hashing algorithm, then you're going to render all of BitTorrent incompatible. So if you're going to render all of BitTorrent incompatible, you might as well fix some other stuff along the way. And that's basically what that story is. It'll be interesting to see if the pirate sites, I mean, the legitimate software distribution sites migrate.
Right.
Well, I mean, it's the only way to really distribute software.
It's funny.
Steam.
It actually is. It's interesting that the speeds of the internet have actually largely rendered BitTorrent a lot less important. But like circa 2001, 2002, 2003, the notion of being able to download an entire ISO was a pain in the butt, and BitTorrent gave you reliable recovery.
Yeah.
But also, at the same time, in parallel, you have vast improvements being made to video compression and audio compression algorithms, and suddenly you can fit a movie on a CD. Oops.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I think BitTorrent, like everything like this, it's like when it became firmly the realm of piracy, it started getting blocked for like legitimate stuff,
Yeah.
So that's a problem.
Made me grouchy too. Now I'm actually like, I'm afraid if I use BitTorrent for a legitimate purpose that my ISP is going to detect that and register as that as bad behavior, as opposed to
downloaded an Ubuntu ISO, you sons of bitches.
As opposed to using, well, I mean, like the Belarus protesters, when their internet shut off, they're using the VPNs were still getting through, I guess. And that becomes the only way to use that without being tracked. Although I suppose if you're in China and you turn on your VPN, that's like painting the bullseye on your roof.
No, it really is.
Okay, so there's been several of these stories that went by about Doom running on the pregnancy test. Did you see any of these? It's very funny.
Oh, of course I did. I mean, everyone did. Oh, did we lose Rob? Dang.
We lost half of our Rob potential.
But he's Rob. Darn it. Yeah, no. This was a guy found an arm inside a pregnancy test, and it was basically a sensor to see when the stripe lights up or whatever, and then it would say pregnant. But this is just another one of those testaments of how cheap stuff has gotten.
Sure.
You could run the Apollo program on a pregnancy test, not really, but
pretty damn
we're not
close.
so far off.
Pretty damn close. The thing that I thought was the funniest is that when you popped the thing open and looked at it, there's still just a piece of paper in there. You're still just peeing on a piece of paper. It's just that there's a couple of circuits, a couple of wires on one end of it.
Yeah.
That amused me.
Funny.
And it's kind of neat. I don't know.
I mean, I liked all the jokes that came out of this, like people saying, hey, the real problem with this version of Doom is you have to pee so much to control it.
Yep.
Pee over here, pee over there, so.
Wait till they add DLC.
So number 2, got to go boom boom if you're going to win against the big boss.
That's true. There's a second strip of paper for detecting that.
That'd be really funny. I noticed that you linked to it twice.
Yeah, my linking procedures. So if I bookmark anything in my RSS reader, it throws up there, and then I think I bookmarked it when somebody else shared it.
Yeah.
I don't even think about it when I bookmark them.
So this is what's interesting right here.
What's that?
The Chinese launching their own rockets.
Yeah.
That are reusable. But I guess it crashed on its first landing, kind of like SpaceX. You
got to work out some bugs.
First couple of times, you gotta blow up a couple of rockets before you can get them to be reusable. So
you got to make some sausage before you can get into low Earth orbit and hang out with the geeks. Hey, Rob.
Yeah, well, it's true. You gotta crack some eggs, otherwise you ain't making an omelet, right? How many cliches can we come up with until Rob gets back on?
No, he's back.
Sorry.
Rob, Feel free to regale us with your jokes about the pregnancy tester that runs Doom.
Yes, please.
I'm sorry, I had to go test mine. The alarm went off, and
Oh no.
yeah,
You had to fight some cacodemons.
yeah. It turns out that I'm having a cacodemon. So
The alarm went off. You have an alarm?
for my Doom pregnancy test, you better believe I have an alarm, Chris.
You set a timer to see, if you were
Right. I was hoping for a mancubus this time, but still a cocodemon, so we'll see. Maybe next time I'll get lucky.
All these false positives.
That's what got you into this mess in the first place.
It's true.
Oh man. I declare this the worst podcast ever. Okay, what else we got?
Bottom 3 for
So
sure.
we were talking about the Chinese launch, Rob.
Chinese and rock. Yep.
And we were making, you can't make a omelet without breaking some eggs because their first one blew up or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's like, yeah, it's okay.
Yep.
Wait, is Scott Manley going to talk about this?
Fly safe.
Fly safe.
I'm Scott Manley. Fly safe.
He did a great thing.
He's got the best voice.
He does have a great voice. Yeah, he did one on the largest black hole that we've ever seen. Do you see that one? You must have.
I probably have, but
it's so good.
I've watched a lot of Scott Manley.
It was like an 80 and a 60 solar mass black hole. They started spinning around each other and then wham into each other, and they gave off enough energy that they gave up something like 40 or 30 solar masses worth of energy. And this is like 5 billion light years away, and we detected the gravitational waves of the impact, and it was incredible.
You hear a lot of stories about like, we're pretty glad that shit's happening in other galaxies, because if it happens to in our galaxy, we're kind of screwed.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, the way I see it, it's like, so this happened, he was saying, I think 2 billion years ago, right? And many, 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 many miles away. So, I wonder if this is just an artifact of the early universe, where these black holes, they're finding each other, they're getting on black hole Tinder, getting together, smashing. Yeah. And then
inevitably having to buy pregnancy testers that run Doom.
Taking their Doom pregnancy tests.
Making baby galaxies.
Making baby galaxies, baby black holes,
Little Einstein Rosen bridges for Maximilian to hang out outside of.
Yeah, that was interesting. I didn't realize that, Disney was so savvy to know what an Einstein-Rosen bridge was.
Do you think that maybe they just like read it in an issue of Omni?
Oh yeah, for sure. Right, totally Omni. I wonder when did they come up with that theory? Is my question.
Yeah, that's got to be. That's like the 70s. I thought that was one of the things that came out of Hawking stuff.
No, he came later on that one.
Right. For some reason,
there was a 73 paper, and then so it looks like 1973 is when the first paper showed up, and then there was a more popular paper a little while later.
The development of the script for the black hole took place throughout the 70s. It started in like 1972 was the first draft. So it's totally conceivable that somebody just read an article and said, "Hey, let's put that in there. It sounds sciencey."
Well, the thing is, I'm reading I've got let me show you. I've got the Wikipedia page up. So of course they go into if you could travel through it, and if then you could maybe do time travel. And I'm like, will you stop with this stuff? This isn't scholarship.
There's a lot of ifs.
This is, if you have a negative gravitational device, and it's like, okay,
there's nothing in physics that doesn't say you can't have negative gravity.
Where's my monopoles? Anyway, so
right.
I just need some exotic matter and I'll be fine. And it's like, okay.
That makes sense.
Sure. I like science fiction. Sure.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'd like it to be better than Picard.
Well, here you go. This equation itself is better than Picard.
Yep. Oh yeah, they forgot to carry the 7.
Yeah. I just want to point out today we're supposed to get the darn trailer, and so I've been reloading this page
every 30 seconds. I don't know, man. I hope this trailer.
They're really beating this one. They're like, and it's coming tomorrow. It's coming in a day. It's coming 2 days. Look, here's a sneak peek for the sneak peek for the trailer. For the sneak peek for the trailer. And it's like, really?
I'm wondering because they had this one in the can before the shutdown, right? So this is one of those things where they're probably doing all the ADR remote, and they're probably doing the special effects remote. Did either of you guys watch Mulan?
I did not. How was it?
No.
It is meh.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you what really bummed me out is that in the original story, it is very much a story of, this girl, and like she finds her skill and she trains really hard. And in this, they cheapened it. It's like, oh, you have magical chi. You have like a magical superpower. So now it's just a Harry Potter thing again. Like you're born with the magic within you all inside. And there's no real like the train.
She is the chosen one.
So you want her to earn it is your issue.
Yeah,
sure. So my thing with the first Mulan, and this is the horrible thing, the training song for that movie, I think is just one of the coolest sequences in a movie. It's the Donny Osmond song, which I love. And there's all the scenes of like the guys with their poles doing like their chops and doing their stuff, and like that scene, like like she works really hard and trains through that whole musical montage, and they have an equivalent in this movie, but it just doesn't. I mean, without the cool Donny Osmond music, I guess what chance do you have?
Yeah, for sure. Whenever anything sucks, I think if only Donny Osmond was singing, this would be better.
I'd settle for any percentage of the Osmonds.
So like a quarter Marie.
Yeah.
Plus an eighth of a Donny equals enough to save a montage scene.
That's right. There's an equation. That's actually the 7.
It's science. It's science,
everybody. If the Donny Osmond and if negative gravity.
Right. There's no physical reason that Donny Osmond shouldn't make something better. So
right.
Therefore,
for sure. No,
I grew up in Salt Lake for a while, and they're a Mormon group. The Osmonds,
yep.
right?
Yep.
And so, they were almost sainted in Salt Lake. Like it was like the Kardashians for the world. It was like the Osmonds in Salt Lake City. It's like keeping up with the Osmonds. And it was just super weird.
We had an Osmond sighting on the corner of 4th and Industrial.
It's really true.
I don't know. I mean, the movie itself was okay. They did the thing, and I noticed it more because a lot of the visuals in the movie are very clearly like descended from the wire fu, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon type style. The problem with it is that in the Ang Lee version of this, there's a lot of really long shots. To like really show the spectacularness of the stunt work, and this is more in the Western tradition, the Marvel tradition, where the action shots are cut so short that you kind of lose. It doesn't feel as special because they're not putting in as much stunt work. There's it's little punches. Like there's a really good action sequence where a lot of the shots are like a half a second long, like a second long, and it doesn't ever really flow like something like Crouching Tiger did, or like even like a more of a traditional action kind of Hong Kong action movie. So it didn't feel as good as the cartoon. It didn't like have the good action that I really wanted it to have. There's some nice vistas, some beautiful scenery. The performances are all really good. Fell flat for me.
Yeah, I have to admit I have no motivation whatsoever to watch Mulan.
Yeah,
I missed the first one either because I was too old or my kids were too old or too young. I don't know. It was never a priority. Like all that Disney that came after, I don't know, Tangled, I just sort of missed all the kid Disney stuff because that was when my kids started fading off from that stuff.
Yep.
Well, Mulan and Tangled are more than a decade apart. Mulan is.
I believe you.
Sure. No, Mulan is generally thought of to be at the end of the Disney Renaissance era. So it basically from
It
the
was before Guess Lasseter came over, right?
a decade before. So Mulan is like maybe the last movie before Disney falls apart.
Yeah.
You could like Brother Bear is a train wreck of garbage.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it all comes in waves, right? I mean,
Yeah.
certainly Disney was absolute garbage before Mulan. It just happened to have a few decent movies in a row,
Right.
and so and so forth. So
yeah, like the Black Cauldron in the early '80s is a debatable movie at best. But the Renaissance movies that Disney had, basically from The Little Mermaid through maybe Mulan, maybe people put Hercules in with that too. But like, there's like a 7 or 8 movie run, which are generally considered to be the good ones. And then
I have to admit,
Dark
so
Ages.
for me, it was Black Hole, then Dragon Slayer, and then Tron, and then it was all downhill from there.
That's fair. That's fair.
Actually, no, I'm looking at the list of Disney movies. There's some really good ones. Flight of the Navigator was solid. Something Wicked This Way Comes.
Flight of the Navigator is on my maybe for movie night.
Right?
That's I like that movie, but I might not because I haven't seen it probably since 1990.
So I have seen Dragon Slayer since I was a kid, and it was pretty good, but it's really slow for a modern,
sure.
That's all. But it was good. Boy, was it good.
Dragon Slayer is the last Disney movie I can remember liking. After that, they're just all too kid oriented.
Wow,
that's fair. See,
it's really something, because there's some real dogs.
I just
have the Little Mermaid in '89.
Yeah, no, I just have I love the Howard Ashman, Alan Menken musical thing. So basically, Little Shop of Horrors, which is not Disney, but it's Ashman and Menken, and then The Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin. I mean, those are just that I was just at the right age to just love singing along like a little nerd. I was a theater kid.
Didn't those come out when we were teenagers?
So I was 13, I think, when The Little Mermaid came out, something like that.
Wait, seriously? So it came out in '89.
I was a theater kid. I liked
out.
musicals. I still like musicals.
Yeah,
that is okay. We're not saying that you're wrong.
I don't care.
But you were older.
I was 13, I think, when The Little Mermaid came out.
I'm a junior in high school when The Little Mermaid came out.
I was 18, so I didn't see it.
No, see that. But the other thing too is that during that era of my life, I really thought I was going to be an animator. Like that's what I wanted to do as a career. I would frame by frame through scenes. I read books.
We know this about you. I mean, that's why Duck Pins is, I think, in 1992. Is that where you are in the?
I think 95,
Disney,
95. But
95?
Yeah. I had to wait for computing power to come down, just like Toy Story.
Yeah, that's what you're waiting for.
I was waiting.
You're waiting to be able to run it on a Doom stick, a Doom pregnancy.
Yeah, I wanted to render full HD 24-bit imagery on a pregnancy tester. P harder, son. We're gonna render HDR.
Listen, Christopher Nolan only ships on IMAX, right? With that incredible soundtrack and beautiful visuals in HDR. Until you have that on a pregnancy test, aren't you compromising your artistic vision?
That's true. You are not wrong.
I am not wrong.
All right, so the only other thing that I had on the list was the WinAmp Skid Museum.
I like this a
which
lot.
was just for raw nostalgia.
Super catnip for me.
Although I truthfully don't think I ever ran WinAmp. X11 amp, of course, was
X11 amp. Yeah,
X11 amp was able to use these skins, so I definitely had a few of those. But there's what it's like Jennifer Love Hewitt and Homestar Runner. I mean, what a little time capsule of the early 2000s.
Look at that! Look at that glory. That is the Homestar Runner.
Yep. We did not install that light switch for you to have a light switch rave.
The cheat is grounded.
I actually have in my big playlist of music, I have the light switch rave that
Trogdor.
they play in that sequence. And so
Oh, yeah.
once every 2 years, once every 18 months or so, that comes up on random shuffle in my living room. And that raises eyebrows if there's somebody else in the room, and I kind of love it.
Look, it's Half-Life meets South Park.
Yeah.
This is the ultimate
Right?
something.
It's a whole bunch. The Olsen twins.
Oh my goodness. That's horrifying.
No way.
And
Yeah.
there's all the marijuana
Lots of
oriented
weed.
ones. And then there's
That's
the
weird.
whatever that is. Techno green.
Hey, Lane.
Corn amp.
Corn.
Oh my goodness.
Come on, they had Lane
That's-
up there. That's one of my favorite shows of all time.
Oh yeah, you like Lane.
I don't know that I could
never
ever
saw
watch Lane again.
Really? How come?
I'm afraid that it would be paced such that I would want to claw my eyes out.
Oh yeah, the pacing is really tough. That is the hardest thing about our movie nights is finding movies that aren't, paced wrong.
Yeah, you got to.
Well, the nice thing is a lot of them are short. That's good.
I can watch anything that's 90 minutes long, but once you get over to about 210, I start struggling.
I already watched Dead Zone. I haven't put my notes in yet, but it's, I watched it with the kids yesterday, so it was cool.
I see. You were just trying to cheat on your homework.
Yeah.
Oh, man. It's funny how much flexibility of design people got out of this, given that you couldn't move anything.
Well, I guess that's true. Yeah, because you would have these like individual panels you could move around, but you always had to have the equalizer there and the playlist there, and then every once in a while you'd find somebody who really understood how to skin these things, and they'd throw out all the rule books and it looked like Kai's Power Tools on acid.
Checks out. See, that's why I was working on Enlightenment, though, because then I could move around widgets wherever I wanted, and I had more flexibility.
Well, yeah. what are all those CPU cores for, right?
In 1997, I didn't have CPU cores. What are you talking about? I had one.
Well, the thing is, Raster and Mandrake, they worked at VA Linux, and so they had all these dual core and and quad core machines, and they're like, well, we know what to do with that. And it's like, God,
squander it
on corners.
I mean, if you have a transparent rounded border, clearly the window is better.
Oh, was that a Braveheart one?
It's a Braveheart one.
Freedom.
This is just weird. Remember, this is a time before we knew how he was like a super racist or whatever.
Oh, we forgot about that now. We don't even care anymore. He's just in
we
movies.
don't care anymore?
No, he's just in movies and stuff.
Oh,
I think we knew he just makes good movies, so he gets a pass,
What does he make? I mean, what has he made? What's his thing?
He's directed a couple movies in the last few years, hasn't he?
He didn't make Fury Road, so.
No. No. I think he's out of jail, though, or director jail.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think there's going to be a new Fury Road.
They've been working on that for a while, but apparently there's some conflict between Furiosa and I don't know if it was George Miller or somebody, so I don't know. I think it's going to be a prequel.
No, she's back in. Yeah, man.
Well,
the wasteland.
Well. Let's say goodbye to the world. Go do our important things. I have to go tend to my children's Zoom classes.
Yeah, I have to go obsessively reload the Dune page.
All right. Well, then we can do a reaction video on Friday.
Yeah, that'd be great. Rockets, desert planet.
He is degrees on cataract.
Thank you, Katarina.
I just gotta say those pants aren't very flattering in the crotch area.
Well, at least they're protecting the crotch area. I mean, you got to give them credit for that,
I suppose they just look a little baggy. That's all I'm saying.
Well, maybe
I'm not sure he can run really fast in those.
Well, listen, it's the future. Maybe he's playing Doom in his pants.
He does, yeah.
Right.
Well, no. If you use the Doom pregnancy tester on Arrakis, that becomes the property of your clan because you don't want to waste that water.
It's true. It's true.
And with that,
on that high note,
goodbye, Chris DeBona.
Bye, Rob Mulder.
Goodbye, Rob Roseboom.
Goodbye.
So this has been episode 511 of Geeks in Space. I've been Rob Commander Taco Malda. Remember, your urine belongs to your clan.